And we always take the holdings and electronic locations under all circumstances. That could lead to, if you have the case where that if you have a URL that is now defunct and you wish to replace it with a new URL which is active, you will end up with both URLs on the item, because we always take it and never throw it away. If you need to drop the old URL, then that's the usefulness of the Libraries Australia cataloguing client comes in. You can come in and using that and delete the record out of delete the bad URL. But otherwise, we just hang on to all of them. Records which are clearly matched are automatically merged according to the amalgamation rules, but records which are similar but not clearly a match are sent for human review. And these records are reviewed on a daily basis by our staff using the Libraries Australia cataloguing client. And due to the difficulty with keeping up with the rate of incoming records, there's usually some delay between the loading and the review of the tentatively matched items. And that's another thing that we're looking at where libraries want to do large holdings of freshers. It generates a lot of, because it generates a lot of review work simply because of the way the matching process works. So if we get 5% of 10,000 or 5% of 20,000, and it all starts to add up. So we're looking at strategies of reducing that, because we do have to put this second behind things like system upgrades and further development on the record import service side. Record import service produces a set of summary statistics. What did I say about things not adding up? Some records may fail to pass through the filter steps. Their edit failed. But some do pass through the filter steps, but with a warning attached. That's edit warning. New, matched, deleted, and tentatively matched records are all counted, and any unprocessed records need to be looked at why they failed, see why they failed. An unprocessed record is a record with which the match merge system could not cope. One reason is that the way the match merge system works is that it grabs a bunch of similar records to the limit of 999. Then it looks at each record in turn to see which is the closest match. Now, if you, in that initial grab, pull back more than 999, it can't work. So you end up with an unprocessed record, a record which is left behind by the match merge system. There are other things. For example, if it finds it's trying to match by a Library of Congress number, but it finds 2 in the database, doesn't know which one to pick, because it's supposed to be only one. I think we've fixed that now, haven't we? We've made an adjustment to allow that to happen, or we are making an adjustment to allow that to happen. And holdings are counted, of course, separately to the bib records. The Record Import Service produces a number of report files for each file that you load. Files with the .mrc extension are files of marked records, which you can load back and manipulate. Files with the .txt extension are formatted mark prints, usually with some sort of diagnostic message on it, and it allows you to see the record and the problem with the record. The errors file contains records which are dropped before being loaded, so they haven't made it through to the system at all. The warnings represent records which have been loaded, but with some change having been made by our filter on the way through. The review file contains a print of the records tentatively matched and the database record that they are tentatively matched against. The unprocessed file contains the prints of the records which failed to pass through the match merge. And for holdings files only, you can get a list of the non-hits, any of the records which failed to make a match at all. Yes? Yep.
But that's something that's been flagged for a person to look at, so that may not be the record where that
Yes.
ends up. Is that correct?
Yes. Sometimes you'll find some things in that file where it's not. They're obviously different things. It's for information sort of thing. Yes, and a decision will be made by to match or not match by a National Library staff member.
Is there a way we could find out where those records go?
Well, they're on the database. Those records actually go through on the database, and you can search and find them there. There's a
Holdings have ended up after they've been
after they've been. At the moment, I don't think we can do. There isn't a link. There's no link to that exchange. Because when it's run. Again, it's a technical thing because we've got the batch loading that we're doing in RIS is called offline batch loading, but when it's run from the review file, it's online, so it's a different module in the system. It's actually a different module in the system, and they're not connected, so we haven't been able to produce statistics from that side of it yet. Whoops, Bamal, yes.
Anything is technically possible in terms of generating those sorts of reports, and there is a component in the system that logs in that particular transaction. It's really about developing a report around that and having the resources to do it.
Hmm.
So if that was seen as a sufficiently high enough demand, we would look at ways to generate those sorts of reports. But what we do in the event that your holding moves from the record that it was originally loaded the database on and it's moved as a result of that review action, your numbers, your local system numbers, anything that was on the holding appears as a new record, and the superseded number is stored in the record that's eventually the third newest record.
Hmm. Now, at a point where I'm very concerned about the tension between your thirst for knowledge and your growing hunger for lunch. So we'll just be quick through here. This is a report you can do. You can do reports limited by date on your files, so that you can go. You're not limited to that initial screen. You can go back and do some searching to find files back a number of years.